From turning Amy Schumer's original project into a Barbie-core fantasy to being totally embarrassed after being seen with Ken in public. Here's why Margot Robbie was the wrong choice for Barbie. And I'm not saying this because I don't like her. We all know Margot's a great actor, and I love seeing her on screen. But after replacing Amy as the lead, she turned the whole thing into a land of glitter and confetti that feels superficial and hard to find inspiring. Okay, maybe it's not entirely Margot's doing, but if you compare this movie to the one Amy was working on, you'll know what I'm talking about. When Amy was in charge, the film had a different plot, with Barbie kicked out of Barbieland for not being perfect enough, only to find her way back after realizing that being perfect means being yourself. By the sound of it, the film was supposed to be a social commentary on body positivity against insane beauty standards, and finding yourself and your purpose among all that noise. But how can a film address the subject of body positivity with a lead actor that looks like Margot? She's one of Hollywood's glam queens, and her playing Barbie changes the entire theme of the film, from a story about accepting her imperfections to one about Barbie trying to find her purpose in the world. Amy's even joked about this too, saying that she was told she's too thin for the role.
You were originally slated to star in the Barbie movie. You dropped out due to creative differences.
They said I was too thin. No.
So she decided to leave and open a spot for Margot, who was cast for all the wrong reasons. And get this, she doesn't even like Barbie. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Did you know that Margot never owned a Barbie doll in her life? As a kid, she preferred building forts and playing with trucks, rather than dressing up dolls with her friends and cousins. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it might explain why she wasn't really excited to take on the role of the most iconic doll in history. Margot said she didn't even think about playing Barbie until years into developing the project as a producer, a quote that didn't sit well with fans who slammed Margot for accepting the role only for the money, because she clearly doesn't have any personal connection to the character at all. In fact, Margot would have picked Gal Gadot to play Barbie instead, but Gal had some scheduling conflicts, which means Margot wasn't even her own first choice for the role. According to Robbie, Gal is so beautiful that she gives off just the right amount of Barbie energy, and she thinks Gal would have been the perfect fit for the role, because she's so sincere, kind, and dorky. Sadly, that didn't happen though because the Wonder Woman star was too busy, so Margot said she had to step in as Barbie instead. Yep, you heard that right. She had to step in, as if it was an obligation or something, and not the role of a lifetime where she'd get to play the most iconic character of all time. So do you still think Margot was the right choice? The only real positive thing about Margot taking on the role is that she helped Ryan Gosling fit into Ken's shoes. Did you know that Margot left him a gift tied with a pink bow every day when they were filming? The gifts were all beach-related because Ken only had one job in the film, and I can sum it up in 2 words. Just beach. Yep, just beach. It was hard for Ryan to wrap his head around that initially, but he says he slid into the role fairly easily anyway. Thanks to Robbie, who kept gifting him the most random beach-themed items to get his Kenergy on, and that helped with their chemistry too. I've got to say, she's come a long way from thinking the movie wouldn't see the light of day, which is concerning when you consider that Margot's the star and producer of the film. And the reason she wasn't sure it would ever get made is really weird. Margot thought the story was so good that it'd never be greenlit and made into a film. Make that make sense, because I'm still scratching my head with that one. It's one thing to read a script and think, okay, this one's probably going to be skimmed over and forgotten. But if you're reading a script written by a genius like Greta Gerwig and think it's really good, why would you say it's such a shame that the movie will never be made? There's an old saying in Hollywood that it takes a miracle to get a film made, and some films are stuck in development purgatory for several years. But her comments are still odd, given that Greta was so determined to get the film made. Other actors who read the script loved it too. Only Margot thought the movie was doomed. Take Ryan, for example. He thought the script was amazing and said yes to it right away after he saw his daughter playing with a Ken doll in his backyard.
Yes.
And you went out in your backyard and you just want to think about it for a second. You go in the backyard.
Best script I've ever read. I walk out in the backyard, and do you know where I found Ken, Jimmy? Face down in the mud next to a squish lemon.
For Shang-Chi's Simu Liu, the decision was made after he talked to a junior agent at his casting agency, who said that if there was any script he could stake his career on, it was this one. And after that, Liu had no reason left to say no. So when everyone else was so excited about taking on the role, why wasn't Margot? Like I said earlier, it's the role of a lifetime. But fans say that because Margot's such a huge star now, she's only going to play Margot Robbie in whatever role she chooses. Sure, she's played Harley Quinn, Tanya Harding, Sharon Tate, and many other characters from different movie genres. No argument there, but now it feels like whatever movie she does, we're only watching Margot Robbie on the screen. It's like a Tom Cruise situation. No matter what movie he's in, he's always Tom. But Barbie fans are also saying that with such a big star playing the lead, they're worried the whole thing's going to be a 90-minute commercial for Barbie. Companies don't get that kind of marketing every day, so with Margot playing Barbie, you know Mattel's going to make sure they cash in on the opportunity. If there was another actor in Barbie's shoes, though, there's a good chance the film would have focused more on its story than how Margot looked in a dress, or what her wigs looked like, and how her giant blowout party was the event of the century. Fans are taking Barbie very seriously, hyping it up every day, but Margot thought the whole thing was just a bag of laughs, and she was cracking up on set every day, not taking things seriously. I can't comment much more before watching the movie, though, so for now I'll take Margot's word for it when she says that the movie's a treat for not only Barbie fans, but the haters too. Hey, at least she understands her audience, right? Because the fact that she knows people have a problem with Barbie proves that she's done her research and knows the character very well. And here's a fun fact. Did you know that Margot was totally embarrassed by being seen as Barbie on set? I'm not kidding, I'm dead serious. Last year, pictures were leaked on Twitter, showing her and Ryan filming in Los Angeles. And the scene in question was the roller skating sequence from the trailer, showing Barbie and Ken in the real world wearing matching neon outfits, surrounded by people pointing and laughing at them. The leaked photos also revealed Margot punching a guy because he touched her inappropriately. One leaked photo showed her wearing a bright pink cowboy suit, and it excited fans so much that Twitter was full of people imagining what the scenes were about for days on end. But Margot didn't share their feelings and was completely mortified by all the attention. She says that her and Ryan may have looked like they were laughing and having fun, but she was humiliated by the media blow-up that followed and dying on the inside. I mean, Margot, you're playing Barbie, one of the most famous dolls in the world that almost everyone has played with at some point in their lives. But I can't shake the feeling that she isn't proud of her work on the project. What's she gonna do, hide on the red carpet when the film releases? So from being totally embarrassed after being seen with Ken in public, to turning Amy Schumer's original project into a Barbiecore fantasy, that's why Margot Robbie was the wrong choice for Barbie.